2025 Ford Mustang GTD First Look Review, Supercar Chimera. Little did we know that when the Ford Mustang Dark Horse R was unveiled recently to bridge that gap between the Dark Horse and the Mustang GT3 and GT4, Ford had something else up its sleeve. The new Ford Mustang GTD Coupe is what happens when the Blue Oval aims to build the fastest road-going Mustang ever, and the result is indeed a road-legal rocket ship. Ford merged the concepts of muscle car and supercar to create the GTD, and using the word supercar alongside the Mustang nameplate is both alien and exciting. Yet the GTD is all that and more. It's an 800 horsepower Chimera that has been designed from scratch as a race car for the road, and not the other way around. The body is built in Ford's Flat Rock assembly plant, but each of the limited edition Mustangs will be finished by hand in Multimax Canadian facilities. The cost of getting your hands on one of these? A cool $300,000. When is the Ford Mustang GTD coming out? Ford hasn't confirmed precisely when the Stang will be available to buyers in the USA, but has projected it will arrive in late 2024/early 2025. The release date of the Ford Mustang GTD will likely coincide with the Mustang GT3 racing at Le Mans next year, however. 2025 Ford Mustang GTD price and competition. An exact MSRP hasn't been stipulated yet, but the 2025 Ford Mustang GTD has a price starting around $300,000. This may seem extraordinarily high for something with the Mustang name, but considering the technology at play here, some of which isn't even legal on race cars, we don't think it's an unreasonable ask. The Porsche 911 GT3 RS starts more than $55,000 cheaper, but it has only 518 HP and doesn't come with Ford's muscle car turned race car pedigree, although it's in no way diminished as a track toy. The new Porsche 911 S/T is closer in price, just under $300,000, but it's not any more powerful. However, the new 911 GT2 RS expected in 2026 may be considered a closer rival. Traditionally the most extreme version of the 911, the GT2 RS is expected to make over 700 horsepower from a mild hybrid-assisted powertrain. Another indirect competitor is the Mercedes-AMG GT Black Series. It may no longer be in production, but it's the only front-engined sports car to run a sub-7-minute Nürburgring lap. There can be no doubt its 6:43.616 is the target the Mustang GTD aims to beat. New Ford Mustang GTD exterior and colors. The familiar Mustang look is as iconic as the brand is, and the automaker has turned it up to 11 for the Ford GTD. It's still recognizable for what it is, but the aggressive styling and massive rear wing make it clear this isn't your ordinary Stang. For weight-saving purposes, the Mustang GTD comes with carbon fiber body panels as standard. The front splitter, hood, fenders, door sills, rear diffuser, roof, and the trunk cover are all rendered in the stuff, and buyers will be able to switch out the front and rear fascias for carbon fiber bits if they want. There's also an optional underbody aerodynamic tray in carbon fiber that you can tick the box for, which comes with hydraulically controlled front flaps that manage airflow in tandem with the active rear wing. The latter is mounted to the C-pillar and also hydraulically activated. Below the wing, there's no trunk space. In its place you'll find the semi-active hydraulic control suspension and transaxle cooling system. It's covered by a carbon fiber panel with dual air scoops that channel air off of the rear glass and into the trunk area through to the heat exchangers. The familiar Mustang tail lights are present, and the aggressive rear diffuser sports dual rectangular tailpipes. The fenders on this model are more prominent to account for the wider track, and 20-inch forged aluminum wheels are standard with staggered width tires. Forged magnesium wheels are available, in a design that resembles the wheels on the Mustang GT3 race car. As for exterior colors on the Mustang GTD, the automaker says you can have it in any color your heart desires, simply bring a sample and they'll match it. Ford Mustang GTD dimensions. Official dimensions for the Ford Mustang GTD haven't been made public yet, but it's likely to be similar to the Dark Horse. That coupe has a wheelbase of 107 inches, a total length of 189.7 inches, and a width including mirrors working out just under 82 inches. It's 55.2 inches in height, but these measurements are likely to be a little greater thanks to the aero kit on the GTD. We also know the track width is wider by around 4 inches compared to the standard Mustang GT, so assume metrics of around 66 inches/68 inches front and rear. Curb weight is harder to establish due to the extensive use of carbon fiber mechanically and in exterior bodywork. But considering that most performance-focused versions of the Mustang already tip the scales at around 4,000 pounds, it's likely that the GTD won't want to be any heavier. Ford Mustang GTD engine and performance. Powering the new Ford Mustang GTD is a 5.2-liter V8 engine with a targeted 800 horsepower output figure. Ford hasn't disclosed official specs just yet, so we don't have 0 to 60 miles per hour times or a top speed, but since the aim was to create the fastest street-legal Mustang ever with a targeted sub-7-minute Nürburgring time, it's bound to be mind-blowingly rapid. Power goes to the rear wheels through a carbon fiber drive shaft with a redline exceeding 7,500 rpm. We're also told the racket the mill makes can be amplified by an available active valve titanium exhaust. The engine in the Ford Mustang GTD is the result of a collaboration between Ford and Multimac, which are responsible for the GT3, GT4, and Ford GT. The engine has dual air inlets and a first-ever dry sump oil system to ensure efficient lubrication during prolonged and intense track use. An 8-speed dual-clutch rear transaxle transmission does duty here, which is so designed for optimal weight balance. Some of the tech used in creating this suspension setup isn't even allowed in motorsport. Ford's road-legal race car features a bespoke suspension setup with integral link pushrod and rocker arm architecture which optimizes lateral rigidity for pushing GS through corners. This is aided by the active aerodynamics that allows for maximum downforce. And to bring the ferocious Mustang to a stop, there are carbon ceramic brakes from Brembo. At the rear, the GTD comes with additional cooling ducts below the rear suspension to help dissipate heat after hard braking. The suspension also adjusts the spring rate and ride height depending on whether you are using the GTD on the road or on track. The ride height can be adjusted up to 40 mm, lower for track use, and higher for day-to-day journeys. Despite its performance focus, the Mustang is supposed to be drivable in the sense that not only race car drivers should be able to use the car as intended. For those of us who don't make a career out of driving stupidly fast cars, the Mustang GTD comes with new variable traction control technology for track mode, which allows drivers to modulate engine outputs and how much assistance they want from the traction control system. This can be adjusted without taking your hands off the wheel. And with various personalized driving modes, the Mustang GTD should provide a range of driving experiences and not just be used as a vicious track tool. Gas mileage. With more than 800 horses to unleash, gas mileage for the 2025 Ford Mustang GTD isn't going to be great. The Dark Horse, which makes around 300 HP less, returns EPA ratings of 14/22/17 mpg on city/highway/combined cycles, but the Mustang GTD is likely to be even poorer than this. We can't speculate on range, but it's not likely to matter. You won't be buying this for frugality's sake. Ford Mustang GTD interior and cargo. The interior of the 2025 Mustang GTD hasn't been revealed, but Ford has said that it will have an upmarket feel, thanks to premium materials like Myco suede combined with leather and carbon fiber. Recaro seats will allow you to remain in place during track use, while the rear seats for the Mustang GTD have been removed entirely. Ford's 7th-generation Mustang lineup boasts a fighter jet-inspired digital cockpit, and in the GTD, this is brought to life with available 3D-printed titanium paddle shifters, a rotary dial shifter, and serial plate made from Lockheed Martin F-22 titanium parts. Of course, digital displays form part of the interior theme. We assume a mix of racy interior colors will be available for buyers to choose from, although if the exterior colors for the Ford Mustang GTD are limitless and based on customer desire, the inside will likely follow the same trend. Cargo space for the GTD is entirely irrelevant, so much so that the trunk area has been repurposed for hosting the bespoke suspension setup. If you simply have to carry a bag or two, you'll have to stow it behind the seats where the rear seats would have been.